Welcome to ElliptiGO's online support videos. In this video, we will remove and install the front brake cable. Removal: you will need a pair of wire cutters and a 5mm Allen wrench. Start by removing the cable stop on the end of your brake cable. You may want to keep this for later or use a new one. Next, with your 5mm Allen wrench, loosen the pinch bolt on the brake caliper so that you may slide the brake cable out, and then remove the rubber stopper off of the brake cable. Next, with your wire cutters, make a clean cut above the edge of where the pinch bolt had crimped the cable. So in other words, make a nice clean cut above the frayed section of cable. Next, slide the noodle off of the brake cable and the housing. Now pull the brake cable housing free of the brake lever, and then pull the cable out of the brake cable housing. Then you will align the slit of the adjustment barrel on the brake lever so that the slit all lines up. Pull the cable out of the brake lever, again making sure that everything is aligned. The slit of the adjustment barrel is aligned with the slit in the brake handle itself. And then squeeze the lever to pull the ball end of the cable straight up. Just pop it right out. Again, if you haven't done so already, now is when you remove the brake noodle. Installation. We're going to install your new brake cable and new brake noodle. First, place the ball end by squeezing the brake lever, and then slide the cable back through the slit of the brake lever and into the barrel adjuster. Next, feed the cable through the cable housing. Note we have not removed any of the cable housing, so it still should be zip tied to the other housing. The shifter cable and the brake cable on the other side. So just slide the cable through the brake cable housing all the way through and put the housing into the brake lever. Make sure the cable feeds all the way out through the housing and pull it nice and taut. Then you will install your new brake noodle. So just slip that right over the cable. The noodle is lubricated, so you want to make sure the cable is very clean and still wrapped together so it's not frayed. And then place your noodle inside the brake caliper. Next, slide your little rubber gasket or dust cover on and feed the cable back through the pinch bolt. Make sure the noodle is seated in the brake caliper. Then, pulling the cable taut, but not too much where you're pinching the wheel, you'll tighten the pinch bolt with your 5mm Allen wrench. You'll see that there's still enough space between the brake pads that the wheel is spinning. If you have pulled your brake cable too tight and your brake pads are contacting your rim, it will not spin on the front wheel. So you'll need to loosen the pinch bolt, let out some tension, so that the wheel spins freely, and then retighten. If you are running into issues where your wheel is not spinning, double check to make sure that your brake noodle is seated in the caliper, and then also check up top on the brake lever of the handlebars that the housing is actually seated in the brake lever. Then, check to make sure the brake levers are actuating properly. They should not depress fully to the handlebar. They should have some tension there. So you can compare your rear brake to your front brake to make sure that they are both operating properly. Finally, place your end cap, either a new one or your old one, onto the end of the cable and crimp using your wire cutters. Just crimp them nice and lightly, give 2 crimps, and then push the cable down so that it's not sticking out, or tuck it behind the brake caliper. For any questions, please contact ElliptiGO's customer service 858-222-7309.